First of all, the very first thing, I'm really, really grateful to all the people that put us in a position to have an opportunity to play. It's been a very, very long road, and we have had people that have worked tirelessly here in our athletic department, especially uh, our trainer, Jennifer Brown, and her team, and people around campus that have done so much to put us, where we have a chance to play. So I'm grateful for that. The second thing is that I want to congratulate St. Francis. They were very, very ready to play. They were really good. They controlled the game from the beginning. And congrats to them, their coaching staff, and their guys. Disappointing for us. Very, very disappointing for us. We didn't play with especially to start the game, we didn't have the energy that's required to have a chance to become a good team. And I'm not really sure why. It took us a half to kind of get that energy. Um, a couple things that we've really tried to emphasize were defense and rebounding, and we did not do a good job of that. I think we panicked in the first half when we couldn't make a shot. Um, and when you're playing against a team that's won, like they have, and have some guys back that were part of a team that won 22 games and got to their conference championship, they can see that and they prey off of that. And so we have a lot. We have a lot of work to do. For me, it's not a surprise. The outcome is a surprise, and especially how we started is a surprise. It's tough to win against anyone when you have 23 turnovers and you do not shoot the ball well, and especially the way we defended in the first half. So disappointed in that. We got a lot of work to do, and we'll get back to work starting tomorrow.
Jeff, you said not you weren't surprised, but I mean when you talk about different things like turnovers, the rebounding, the defense, which element there that was there anything there that did surprise you that you thought was really going to be better than what happened tonight?
I was surprised at how we started the game. I was surprised by that. I was surprised that we didn't have the energy right away. I mean, we talked about we want them to feel us. We talked about how when we score, we want to pick up, and we didn't do that. And so right away, they were able to get into a rhythm offensively. We didn't pressure, we didn't contest. They were able to drive us. And so I was surprised by that. I was surprised, how we didn't come out with the energy. I thought we would have been excited. I thought that we would have been, really ready to go. I don't know if it was nerves or jitters or whatever. And then they smacked us right in the mouth and we panicked, in that moment. And so, again, we have a lot of growing up to do. We have a lot of growing up to do.
Jeff, you and I talked about some of the more disappointing aspects of that game. How much had you seen some of those things in practice, or can that be kind of a difficult thing to judge when you're just playing against each other?
I've seen it. And I think I said the other day, like some days we look like we're good, and some days we're not. And it's at times it's been difficult to judge because we are just going against us. Today we played against a team that, man, the way they cut, the way they, talked to each other and communicated and made their defenses work, man and zone. For whatever reason, it just knocked us back. And it took us too long to recover. That's the main thing. It took too long. It was similar to last year where when it starts to happen, it snowballs. And instead of us, maybe taking 2 minutes or 3 minutes, it's like 6, 8 minutes. And it took us getting to halftime to kind of, get there.
Coach, through your first 3 years here at Pitt, you've had a couple losses like this where you maybe lose to an opponent early in the season that you didn't expect to lose to. What Have you noticed any common themes throughout these losses? Why do you guys keep dropping games like this?
Energy, lack of energy.
Jeff, is that an easy fix where you could tell the team and they can fix that quickly, or is that more complicated than that?
I don't think it's an easy fix. No, it's not. There's nothing easy about what we do, and so I don't think it's an easy fix. But it's going to be something that we collectively, have to work on. We have to understand. Like, we're not as good as we thought we were. That's one of the main things. It's hard for young guys to understand that when we're just against each other, and there's a feeling that we had, like, that we're really good and we have a chance to be good, but we have to understand that all these things are required to have a chance to be good. And if you don't have energy, it's not going to happen. If you don't value the basketball, it's not going to. I don't care what your talent is. It's not going to happen. And that's where we have to learn. And it sucks that it took losing, maybe for a lesson to be taught, but that's what it is. And we have to learn from it and move on and get better.
Jeff, was there anything about the zone defense of St. Francis that you think was special, or something important that they did that made it harder for you guys, or do you think it was more so just about you guys' lack of energy and that panicking in the
No, I'm not saying. Look, we didn't lose because of lack of energy. I'm not taking anything away from St. Francis. They were terrific. I mean, they were. They were ready to play. They executed. Their guys, did a heck of a job. So I'm not going to sit up here and say, like, their zone was good, but there's some things that we could have done better. I don't know. I have to go back and look at the tape, but it'll be interesting how many shots right there at the rim that we missed. How many times we finished. That's something, when I said it's not surprising. When we've shown feedback in practice, one of the areas that we've talked about is finishing. I mean, finishing right there at the basket. And so we have to be able to do that in real time when we're playing against other people. And so we have to practice it better. So, thanks.
William, what was it was obviously a disappointing final result, but for you, especially only being 17, what was that first taste of college experience like for you?
It was fun. It was intense, even when the game tipped off and I was on the bench, I was cheering my teammates on. The excitement in the locker room and coming out to the court, like, it was just fun. It was exciting, and I was ready to play.
I was curious, after a loss like that, I mean, what was Coach's message to you guys? What was the team's mood in the locker room?
Coach's message was just keep our heads up. There's a lot of things that we can improve on, and it's sad that we had to learn our lesson this way. But we just got to wake up the next morning and be prepared to work. We got to continue to defensive rebound and defend, and always come in ready to play with energy and start the game off stronger than we did, and that'll be there within the next coming games.
Well, you made a couple of plays where you had one with the steal and the dunk, and then the other with the three, where you cut it close to getting into single digits. Can you talk about those plays, what it was like to make kind of momentum-changing plays, and also like why you guys weren't able to maybe capitalize on them and make a run off of that?
Whenever you come in the game, you got to be ready to make plays, and I just wanted to come off the bench and supply energy to my team to continue to communicate and, like I said, keep pushing our guys to know that we can still win this game even though we're behind. We just got to continue to keep our energy up. And so what was the second part of that question?
Just why weren't you guys able to capitalize off of that? You cut it to 14, then you cut it to 11, but you weren't able to seem to get into single digits.
I guess that's just a result of continuously getting stops. We were trying to string stops together, and sometimes that just wasn't happening. Credit to St. Francis for hitting a lot of shots, and also just defensive rebounding. We got to get better at that. and keeping the ball in front of us. And then just for us in general too, I don't think we shot the ball very well tonight. And I think within the next coming games that'll change because I know we're a team that can shoot. And this was just tonight the ball didn't fall in. So just want to continue to tell our guys keep our heads up and not let one loss define us.
William, this is obviously, I guess, a difficult and pretty jarring introduction to college basketball. I mean, I know the game just ended, but what kind of lessons do you feel like you can kind of take away from this as you sort of start to get acclimated to the college game?
One lesson I could take away is that you got to bring it every given night. Everybody's beatable, and if you don't come out with energy, and sometimes you don't come out the gates right away, it's hard to come from behind. And also, I take away that intensity and energy is really one of the biggest things in college basketball. We didn't come out with that much energy. We were kind of flat, and our intensity dropped as St. Francis started to pull away because we got into ourselves instead of coming together. And so it's a lot about leaning on your teammates, trusting your coaches, and continuing to play together.
William, who were you talking to or listening to while you guys were trailing, and who was giving you good advice on the bench, whether it was a player or a coach, and was kind of getting your head in the game for you so you could be ready for your moment?
Honestly, coming off the bench, I was in my own head, making sure that I was staying ready and making sure I was ready to come in and make plays and try and benefit the team. Also had Coach Capel continue to instill confidence into me, telling me to shoot the ball and make my plays. Also had Double R telling me some opportunities that I had to score, make a pass, and stuff like that. So I was just continuing to listen to the coaches and the people around me, and also keep myself within the game and make plays that I know I can.
So we had talked with Coach Capel a little bit earlier, and he was saying that he still sees sort of a tendency for this team when things aren't going your way, that it takes you guys a little while, several minutes sometimes to recover and kind of work your way back in the game. I was curious, for a guy who's in his third year, how much have you noticed that on the court when situations like that are unfolding?
I noticed it a lot, especially this year because we have a lot of more younger guys. So they really don't know. They get down on themselves a lot, and it's kind of hard to lift them up at times because they just thinking they just playing awful or anything like that. But it's just the spurts of the games that we have to pick each other up more, and this and that.
What do you say to some of the younger guys in moments like that where you can tell that they need some help?
Like I tell them, I just tell them all the time, it's your first college game. It's going to be a lot of jitters. We've been through that. At the same time, just in that day, it's just basketball. Like, just play your game. Like, it's not too much to think about. Just play your game. I try to lift them up every time. If miss a shot, air ball, whatever. Just keep shooting the ball. I just keep playing.
Dees, what do you feel like wasn't working with the defense, especially in the first half?
We came out sluggish. It wasn't aggressive like it usually as opposed to at the tip. We got hit in the mouth before they hit us in the mouth. They gave us our own blood, so that's what we didn't do as a team.
Where do you feel like that lack of energy came from? What do you feel like caused that?
It was just, I guess, the newer guys. They were expecting a lot of fans and this and that to have a lot of more energy. And that's most definitely was the biggest problem for us. We didn't carry that same energy over that we had, like we usually have in the atmosphere of the arena. So we struggled with that.
These seemed like they came out in the zone defense, and you guys kind of played into their hands by shooting so much from the perimeter. Was that a game plan, or did they kind of get you into a 3 shooting contest that maybe you didn't want to because of your size advantage?
No, we just like Coach said, take our shots. That's what the game plan is. Just take our shots when they in the zone. Any team in the zone, just take our shots. And most definitely was the key was to get the ball in the paint as much as we can.
Wanted to ask you real quick just about your impressions of some of the freshmen. Did any of them stand out? In particular, the guy that seemed like he had a good game was William Jeffers.
I was just going to say that Will he gave us a lift, a momentum when he came in and he started playing good. I told him as soon as he got in the game, I was like, take your shots, don't hesitate and this and that because last practice he was kind of timid, like not shooting. I was like, man, shoot the ball, man. Like you can shoot the ball, and that's what he did, and he stepped up to the plate tonight.
Ardis, we talked with Coach Capel a little bit earlier. He was, he had said that in practice, he said that he's seen good moments from his team, bad moments. What for you guys? What do y'all struggle with the most in those bad moments?
Bad is communication. Lack of communication. That's the biggest key for us. When things not going right, we just stop talking to each other, and we thinking that's going to solve anything, but it's not. And that showed tonight as well. Like Coach been saying, like you got to communicate through whatever. You don't know nothing until you communicate and you talk to each other. So that's the biggest pet peeve.